And now we have him brought back as Minister of Defense. What does that tell you? Is it that the thing was planned to let Badaru go and retire Christopher first before appointing him as Minister of Defense? What is it for you? Especially given the light of the fact that this Badaru has been there for 2.5 years, getting to 3 years. And when people put pressure on the president to let him go, and the president said, no, I have confidence in the ministers and all of that, including the Minister of State for Defense, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What is it for you? Do you think that the president is under pressure from some quarters or what? Let's have your broad reaction to these changes that are quite recent, 2 days ago.
This permutation shows that the president is confused. He is a completely confused man. Because in the first place, these changes should not be if things were working well. If this president is actually in charge of his government, this thing that is happening shouldn't have happened. This was the man they alleged that he was the one that was instrumental to leaking the coup. He was the one that nipped it in the bud. And when they were sacking people, they sacked him. So, what wrong did he do? Did you not discuss it here? That how do you let a man go who saved your government? And now you brought him back. And for the Baduru, please, you know very well that this man has some skeleton in his cupboard. Yet you brought him in. And when people raise eyebrows, you say, no, you are comfortable with. In fact, it shows that the president is not in charge.
Now, Barrister. Yes, Barrister, you said that this changes shows that the president is not in charge.
Yes.
And that if things were going right,
yes,
he wouldn't need to make these changes.
Exactly.
Now, things are not going right, and he's trying to get things right by making these changes. Should that be a problem?
No, the man you just released of his office yesterday, you brought him back again now. Can't you get where I'm going to? This man, if he was doing well, why did you let him go?
Why is it
only for you to bring him back?
Why didn't the individual refuse coming back to work with the president? If you think that he's, will I say the sack and every other thing, the expulsion was not really a good one. Why is it that we have the former CDS still accept the appointment to be the Minister of Defense?
No, they don't want to embarrass the president. Imagine what would happen if the president were to call him and say, come and he said, no, I'm not doing. It will be
Isn't this an embarrassment already that the person that was sacked not quite long is being pushed back again to still man the Ministry of Defense in Nigeria?
The man believes that he has come to help the president achieve his mandate.
Now, Barrister, doesn't it look like this shuffling, of the cabinet? It's a good one, given the fact that we had the Minister of Defense, Badaru, who was two-time governor of Jigawa State, and the Minister of State for Defense, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, one-time governor of Zamfara State. And two of them couldn't push back insecurity and banditry and all of that in their state. And we saw the president, without any military background, without military knowledge and all of that, they were put in charge of Nigeria's defense system. Now we have the president bring back, a retired general who has military background to say, okay, come and man this position. Is it in the right pick? Is it not the right pick?
It is not. Let me tell you, this appointment was instigated by America. Yes, they are the one dictating the pace now for Tinubu. I'm not joking.
How do you mean?
Yes, because remember the story of Jackson Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, the Americans told him, go and release that man from the life jail they give him or death sentence. Abi, is that not part of the conditions? And I'm sure he's going to do it. And so this other appointment, they equally mentioned that, look, all the people that have a hand in this insecurity, release them of the appointment. So I will not be surprised.
When he
in fact, I will not hesitate to tell you that America is telling Tinubu what to do now.
So at this point, Barrister, are you saying that the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whom the people of Zamfara and even clerics in the state have accused of having one or two to do with the bandits, as well as the role he played when he was offering them cow for a gun and all that, are we going to see him being relieved of his duty too?
He must go. Fina, he must go. The capital must. He
All right,
must
then.
go. That
Okay.
if President Tinubu want to achieve result,
All right.
he must
bring
go.
let's bring Sami Ranta into the conversation. What are your thoughts on this one?
On which exactly?
The conversation we're having. The former chief of defense staff being brought in.
Well, the thing is, I could say it's a good one, but the big but there is the fact that will he be able to work? Will he be able to be given the kind of political support that he needs to work? Don't forget, at this juncture, he's no longer commanding any platoon. He's not commanding anything.
Yes, but
he's a politician.
He's a politician now, so he will be mingling with the politicians.
It's a kind of policy making
Yes.
and bureaucracy. So the fear now is that
As the chief of defense staff, he was basically reporting to the minister, who then reports to the commander in chief. But now, as the minister, don't you think he'll do more work?
the only good thing there is that if he's able to be given that support, so that he can bring in some policies or change some policies.
Policy formation.
Yes, like the policy of de-radicalization, reintegration, and all those. Because he is a man that has been talking about forgetting that he wants them to forget about the non-kinetic method. Go all out and deal with these guys. Any forgiveness.
So do you think the president now intends to go all out and deal with insecurity, or is this just for the optics?
That is left to be seen, because by the time as we watch as days unfold, if the president really want this issue to be trashed out to these terrorists, they are not bandits, for them to be routed out of our nation, then there are basic things he will do. The list of terror sponsors and enablers must be released, must be made public, without doctoring it.
All right. I think the list, we are hearing something about the list. We'll come back to you in a minute, in a bit. Now, let's go to Oka, where we have been joined by Dr. Chukwunonso Ekpesobi. He's an economist and policy consultant, and he's in this place as in the capacity of a political affairs analyst. He's also of the Department of Economics, Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University in Anambra State. Good morning to you, Dr. Ekpesobi.
Good morning.
Okay, good to have you. It's been a while. Now, Dr. Ekpesobi, let's ask some very sensitive but right questions at this moment. We see two people, man the Ministry of Defense, talking about Badaru, former governor of Jigawa State, and Bello Matawale, former governor of Zamfara State. Straight off, these people are Fulanis, both of them. And we have an issue here with Fulani headsmen operating as terrorists, bandits all around the country in parts of the north. Was it appropriate for the president? And we've been in a terror war for as long as 15, 20 years or thereabout. Was it appropriate for the president, understanding our local politics, to appoint two Fulani men to be in charge of the defense ministry? What's your reaction to that?
Well, from experience, the president has been regarded as somebody who has a political mastery in terms of management of people, resources, and networks. So in his wisdom, he appointed two former governors, both of which I personally doubt their military intelligence as far as managing the complex security situation in the country. So if we have learned one lesson from this adventure, what it has shown is that it doesn't necessarily mean that the savior of a crisis must come from the location where that crisis is located. Because I remember, on a personal note, I think it was under Ihe Jirika that I felt that we've had any serious assault of note on these insurgents, bandits, or terrorists, whichever one we want to christen them. So bringing somebody with that expected military background, and not that in fact, he just recently left the scene. So he's somebody that I'm looking forward to serving as a perfect intermediary between the political class and the men on ground. So I think it's maybe it may also be like a morale booster to the officers on ground, knowing that yes, one of their own who understands the situation will be able to speak to the president in a language he understands. Because the two former governors, no matter how best their intentions is, the political more often than not overcloud the security judgment they are supposed to be taking. So maybe it's a lesson the president may have learned the hard way, and following the resignation and the soon-to-be confirmation of the former chief of defense staff, we hope that we may begin to have
talking about the confirmation of the former chief of defense staff, Christopher Musa, who happens to be Christian, by the way, and is from Kaduna State, the hotbed, of this insecurity in the northwest as well. Now, what do you see coming? What do you expect? And I'd like for you to consider it in the light of the fact that this is a man who purportedly blew the lead, on a purported coup or on a coup. And he came out to say, look, there was no coup. A few days after that, he was removed from office. Now he's been brought back. How far do you think he can travel in the fight against terrorism? Does it look like the president might have made a mistake to remove him from the military command and now brought him back as a politician to take decisions? What's your reaction to that?
I overheard one of the guests in the studio talking about having the external forces or actors having the capability of maybe influencing the decisions the presidency is making at the moment. Because I was also shocked. I was taken aback when Christopher Musa was relieved of his responsibility. So maybe this may be one of the corrective mechanism of bringing him back to come and address the situation. And again, given this habit we have for colorizing most of our political or national issues along religious, tribal, or sentiments. So it is good that maybe you are passing the message that yes, the government may not necessarily be about a particular tribe or about a particular religion. That is good that we are bringing, yes, we are disposed enough, we are accommodating enough to bring the ex-chief of defense staff back into the security architecture. But now that's where the main problem comes. It is one thing to give somebody the assignment. It's another thing to allow the person carry out that assignment.
Interesting point to raise there.
Will he be given the kind of, I'm coming there. Will he be given the kind of political backing? Some of us believe that the minister of FCT is enjoying, for instance. That is why anything that comes up about that, the government does not take it the way it expects. It just gives it a part of the risk. So will they give him that kind of backing to do the job, the kind of job that is expected, to take place in our defense architecture?
Exactly, because that actually should be the next question I wanted to ask you, Dr. Ekemeze. I wanted to ask, because some persons of the opinion that the president decided to bring back General Christopher Musa so that he might be able to dip his hands in the jar, the cookie jar, and might not be able to talk or be vocal the way he's been all this while. Recall that he's been the one against the non-kinetic approach and, giving his men the chance to say, go out there, reach tell on them, take out these people, and I don't want to hear stories. And after he made those, after he made those comments, and gingering his people and giving them more morale, we saw the sacking and all that. So do you also share another thought, bringing him to join the political team at this point? More like, putting him in a place where he might not really be able to be that, open-minded again.
It is not everybody. It is not everybody that loses their conscience or their sense of reasoning once they assume a particular position. Especially at the critical period like this, where we will need to begin to show results. Because in terms of talking, we have talked enough. We have had enough intelligence meetings, security meetings with service chiefs. We should be moving beyond this phase of rhetoric, media grandstanding, to results. And I want to believe that bringing in the Chief of Defense Staff, the former Chief of Defense Staff, is to come and strengthen the resolve in that political space, to show that there is now political will to address the problem, that we are trying to bring a square peg in a square hole, to kind of address the situation. So when the person is speaking to the men, the officers, the security chiefs, those things that are wrong in the system, he will be able to identify it, and with his military backing, take decisive actions without thinking of who to compromise or how to jeopardize whatever it is, or to please any particular interest.
Okay, thank you so much.
The bottom line should be the killings must stop.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Dr. Chikuno Soekesobi. Let's take the conversation to Comrade Calvin Ejumudo. Good morning, Calvin, if you can hear me. Good to have you join today's conversation. We're looking at the results thus far, of course, from the meeting with the service chiefs that was held yesterday in the Villa. The president of the opinion that we are reclaiming ungoverned spaces, using veteran at this point, and not just that too. He went further to ask Nigerians to reject divisive rhetoric and also find a way to promote tolerance at this. Now, are we going to see this and the issue of insecurity that Nigerians have been, have been battling for over 15 or past 15 years now? And also the fact that we have the likes of UK, US, and some Western bloc joining Nigeria, having a major force now to end the issue of insecurity. We're going to see that happen anytime soon. We'd like you to unmute your device if you can hear me. Can you hear me, Kelvin? Please, I would like you to unmute your device. All right, we'll wait for you to rectify that or bring it back to the studio. Barrister, I had a question. What do you have to say to that?
That
the president saying that through the usage of veterans, we've been able to reclaim ungoverned spaces and even so many other achievements, and urging Nigerians now to do away with rhetorics and embrace tolerance as a way forward.
No, he is the one to start it. By his appointment and actions, he will lead the way and Nigerians will follow. So far, he has not shown that he has the political will to do anything. I still say it up to tomorrow. Tinubu have not given the right order. He has not made the right call. This Minister of Defense is just policy formulation.
Barrister,
yes.
We have a situation whereby the former Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, was very outspoken about what to be done to curb insecurity. In fact, in some videos that have trended, he talked about building walls. Talked about some countries that built walls around, border walls around certain countries and how that worked for them. And he talked about it. Whether or not there is America breathing down on the president's neck, whether or not, don't you see this action as one in the right direction with an aim to curb insecurity in Nigeria, bring in somebody who has been there, somebody who has, been quite forthright in his stance on the fight against insecurity. He's been very vocal. Don't you think this is a step in the right direction? Shouldn't we commend the president for this nomination?
Was it in the right position? The man you are talking about, is he in a position whereby he can carry out this or that?
That's like he's now a minister.
Minister, yes. Minister. Not the man in the field of battle.
Interfacing with the politicians directly. And one with experience.
Please, anything with politicians, it will not fly. Politicians are people like...
even if he's one of them now.
Look, anything with politicians, you've forgotten. Agbabio in the Senate and that other man at the House of Reps. These are the politicians you are going to interface with.
But Barrister Wike is a politician and he's doing well in FCT.
No, don't go there, please. Don't go there.
You're talking about politicians.
No, don't go there. Okay. Doing what? What? These other things you do, you have forgotten that one, Abi. Because
but you want to forget the good things
anything that has to do with Nigerian politicians, forget it.
So, Barrister, are we going to throw? I mean, if a person does a few good things and maybe a few other things that you're not in support of,
what the man suggested about building, did the Tinubu embrace it?
Now, don't you think now, if he has the ears of don't you think he might get that wish?
He will not.
Why are you so pessimistic?
Hold on. I'm coming. Look, when you have been deceived more than 5 times, are you going to wait until they deceive you the 6th time? This thing that is happening now, if the president is actually hungry for success, hungry to end this thing, he would have done it like 2 years ago.
Better late than never. Better late than
Why
never.
Why must he wait until now? So that will tell you that he is reluctantly doing whatever he's doing now. And that's why you are seeing all these changes. That is neither here nor there. All these appointments now, like somebody asked, why would you know the people that are behind this terrorism, and you now put their brother there?
Okay.
To be aiding and abetting them.
Barrister, what would if Christopher Musa is now made the minister of defense, and what would the minister of defense and the president do to bring back your hope in this administration, for you to say, oh yes, something is being done in the right direction? What would they do? What in particular?
Thank God you asked me this question. Do you know our diversity should have been our strength in matters like this? Our diversity. This is where to employ it. Okay. When this thing was getting out of hand under Jonathan, and Jonathan knew that Boko Haram are already in his government, what did he do? He brought in an Igbo man who have no hand, who's going to be neutral. And you saw what he did. At this point now, I expected Tinubu to appoint an Igbo man against these people, like Jonathan did, and the man produced results. That's what I'm saying here. Tinubu, if you are really a nationalist, get an Igbo man to do this job. Like Ihejirika did it.
Barrister, should he produce a competent man or an Igbo man?
Do what he has appointed. They are not working now. They are high sympathy for the terrorists now.
You don't have competent people outside the southeast? Is that what you are saying?
What are you saying? The ones you employed so far, what have they done? Mr. Okoro, how can't you see that they are aiding and abetting the terrorists? Can't you see it?
Barrister, when you talk about appointing an Igbo man, when Ihejirika was there, they said, no, Ihejirika, you are killing my people.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And Jonathan removed him.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you here. At least he produced results. It was Ihejirika
Barrister, now my question is, must it be an Igbo person that will produce that?
Get the person that will do the job.
And he's getting someone.
Most people are not doing it now. They are not doing the job. They are not doing the job. Matawale, in fact, if you look at his the baggages he's carrying, that man is supposed to be in prison by now. And that's the person you ask to be junior minister of what? Security. Can't you see all the things that is going around him? all the accusations. He's here to put him there. What do you expect him to do? These are people you know that they are able to are abetting this insecurity, and you put them there. You put them there. Get somebody who is hungry to do the job, like in Hejirika.
Barrister, I think a lot of people prefer the word get someone who is hungry and not, like
as
you said,
long
get
as that
an
person
Igbo man.
has
Don't you think?
as long as that person has this ethnic, tribal, and religious affinity with the people causing this problem, he will never perform.
So you're saying we don't have
He will never perform.
You're saying on this table that we don't have Igbos who are sympathizers of Boko Haram and
Not
terrorists.
Igbo who? Which Igbo?
All right, let's
Where
take
is
the
Igbo man coming
conversation.
from?
Let's take the conversation.
Not in the military.
It's all right. Kelvin Ejimodo, good to have you back, please. What's your submission? You know, we're looking at the new appointment of the service chief and also the outcome of the meeting held by the president, also with the team in charge of our security. Let's get your opinion on it, please.
Thank you. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I would like to say, in all honesty, Mr. President is not ready to combat terrorism in Nigeria as we speak.
Simple.
You see, when you go to the pitch as a good coach, you take your best 11 to the pitch.
Exactly.
When you go into the World Cup, you don't go to your second feeder team. You go with your best feeder team because what you want is a result. This is 2 years plus counting. Have you seen the new trend? Daily osusu in the local parlance. That these people, they're not doing daily osusu, they kidnap, they collect ransom. A Paman Tapa was kidnapped in my state, in Delta State, and one of them was killed. To the point you kidnap a Paman Tapa, what economic value does the Paman Tapa wants to kidnap us? To tell you how it has been. And nobody go after them. You see, when people commit crime and nobody come after them, they recruit more people into their fold.
I'm sure you understand that there are different levels to the kidnappings we see. There is the kidnapping on a higher level, and there's those done by those that are not even Fulani headers, those that are regular individuals who just see it as a quick money-making venture.
Criminality is criminality. However you want to describe it, the one that kidnapped the Pound Typer, it was carrying a gun. The one that kidnapped a market woman is carrying a gun. They are all criminals. And what do you do to criminals? You take the battle to them. Because if they have a free holiday, they constitute more mayhem to the masses. And Mr. President has sworn on oath. He said, Emiloko, it's my turn. He's a man of the senator in 1992 for crying out loud. He's a governor in 1999, 2 terms in Lagos State. He said he's well abreast with the length and breadth of Nigeria. And what we expect to see results. Now we face with insecurity. All that areas of the economy is down. We're not looking at those areas, but we're looking at insecurity for now. Concurrently, you are negotiating with bandits, you are paying ransom to them, you are making them know that it's lucrative. And these people, they have different camps. They communicate. When Camp A kidnap and collect ransom, they say, federal government paid, they say how much they paid us in dollars. Really? Camp 2 will do what? Camp 2 will move again and kidnap. When that is done, Camp 3 will go and say, wow, this business is lucrative. They are not coming after us, we are collecting money, we are sharing money. They go again and kidnap. That's why we see the surge in kidnapping after the ransom was paid by the federal government, allegedly with the CD90 date. Now, bringing when the former CDS gave an outright opinion, and that's the truth. We have people in Nigeria that we don't even know where they come from, no identity, no nationality. We have porous borders, about 200 porous borders in the country. And up to date, you've not set security drones to monitor your borders for you, and you are saying you want to fight security. The answer is no. We must put the right men in the job, not the men that are our tribesmen. My tribeman might not be gallant ready to combat crime. But what I want to figure out, I'm going to put him there. He will go there and be docile, he will be sleeping.
All right, Kelvin, let's get your opinion on the fact that today we're having a joint committee session meeting with the U.S. lawmakers and Nigerian reps. You know, what do you think will be the outcome of this meeting? Because it's more like after Donald Trump issued the threat of possible bombardment of Nigeria, we're seeing surge in the issue of insecurity, kidnapping most especially. It was after that statement was made that the Eruku Church kidnapping happened. the KB school girls, though they have recovered, they've been reconciled with the parents, that have also played out. Kotangora St. Mary's School also happened. In Kogi, there was a kidnapping. You know, we've lost count of people that were kidnapped. In Kano State too, it happened too. So what do you think will be the outcome of this joint committee session meeting that we'll have today?
The Nigerian politicians they will still go there and tell lies. They will still go to that meeting and want to paint the narrative the other way. They will still go there and lie that there's no genocide in Nigeria. They still go there and say the insecurity is being fueled by political enemies, by those that are now in the party, those that want to ensure that Nigeria divide. This is not the time for those kind of sermon. The sermon we want to see now is seek ye first. Do this. Give us results. We are tired of telling us stories. They will go to that meeting today and they will tell lies to the US counterpart, and they want them to believe their own.
All right, thank you very much, Kelvin. Thank you very much, Kelvin. Let's bring Somi Ranta into the conversation. Are you one of those that have lost hope completely, or do you think there's still a flicker of hope somewhere, especially in the fight against insecurity?
There's hope, but that hope has to be fueled by action.
Do you think
actions backed by political will and sincerity of purpose? Because if you just talk about hope, there are empty hopes, and we don't want to dwell in that or at that level. We want hope that is practical, that you can see, the roadmap to achieving a certain set goal and objective. That's the kind of hope we want.
Do you think there is some sort of, well, we've talked about this quite a lot, but do you think the cabal within government is so big that it's difficult for anybody that gets there to do something? Because before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got into office, a lot of Nigerians felt if there's anybody that could do it, if the will is there, he's the one. But we're seeing a different theme.
I think the problem with the situation at hand is that the president, whom I refer to as the political octopus of Nigerian politics, who has his hands and legs, in every pie, within the nation. The thing there is that he's not looking at himself as a statesman. He's seeing himself as a politician. You see, politicians think of the next election. The statesmen think of the next generation. Because we don't have much to do with names, in our nation. We prefer people, okay, I have so amount, I have so, I do so houses. We don't bother about names. That's why the problem. Because if the president begins to think of how to leave a legacy that we can bequeath to the next generation, this will not be like this. Because I think he knows what to do. And I'm asking that he should go ahead to do it. Because as it is in Nigeria today, if we continue the way we are doing, we will not go anywhere. We'll just be running around in a circle without any noticeable movement. Motion is not movement. So we have to, at this juncture, do the right things. One, those people who have been terrorizing Nigeria, who have been enabling and sponsoring these terrorists, you should name them.
And shame them.
Stop, yes, and prosecute them. If you don't do that, and look, also we are talking about America. The US will not want to share intelligence with Nigeria until we do those things. If a country as far away as the United Arab Emirates will give you lists, and you hit that list, I heard they have about 15 people or companies and all that, they want to publish that. Those are just papering on the matter. Go all out. That's why I'm so doubtful if the new Minister of Defense can actually perform. Because there is no sincerity of purpose, the way I'm seeing it as it is now. Until we begin to do this, we must come clean. No sacred cow. Everybody must, if your hands are there, no matter the position you're occupying, you must be named and prosecuted, no matter your position. But we get to that point, and these terrorists are very, very daring. And they're psychologists. They are watching and weighing the whole options. So they are not joking. They are not taking prisoners.
All right.
They want Nigeria needs direct action.
All right, then. So